even let her move even an inch from his lap, and she was in the edge of crying for stop him. Taehyung back hug her for stop her struggle, and Taehyung ask, where did that man touch you? YN gets silent by his sudden questions, and think how she will reply him that she still feels that man's disgusting touch. Whenever she close her eyes, whenever she feels that horrible, scary repellent touch on her body, she wants to rub her body until get bruises there. Seeing YN silent, Taehyung lose his tight grip on her. Taehyung in mind, I can feel her body. The way she gets silence, I can fully aware what is she thinking right now. I rub on her arms warmly for back her from her thoughts as she take a long sniff. Taehyung ask again, you said that you still feel the man's touch on your body. Do you want to remove that p and t pound pi dt increment square root ch from your body? It's bow her head and shake as yes. Taehyung says, let me remove that person's touch from your body with my touch. I don't want you to feel anyone else's touch, I just want you to remember my touch, only my touch and no one else's touch. Taehyung places a long comfort kiss on her back, neck, and Taehyung says, I'll promise I will not do anything, I just want to. Bath you okay, do you believe in your Taehyung? He wanted her permission to touch her because he knows she was scared, she is too innocent and too pure for go through this bullshit. Is YN pause a little and nodded her head as yes. After getting YN permission, Taehyung smile and kiss her head from back. And remove claw clips from her massive hair bun and let it fell her long thick black brown shiny hair down to her waist freely. Taehyung says, I love your long hair when it swing to your butts. Is YN blushing by Taehyung compliment because she already knew that Taehyung likes her long hair since the college. Taehyung first wets YN's hair with water and then applies shampoo to YN's hair and starts massaging her hair and head with his long fingers. Is YN feeling so good by his HAED massaging because his fingers doing amazing work on her hair. After shampoo, Taehyung applies body wash on YN's shoulders. And hands starts rubbing and massaging her shoulders and hands with his hands. YN feeling so relaxed by his touch, his massage on her shoulder makes her feel like she is in haven. Also she is surprised and shocked that she is not feeling any negative reaction and discomfort on her body by Taehyung touch. Taehyung in mind, I could feel her smile growing beneath mesh, loves my touch, I know she does. But something is preventing her from completely giving in, she was loving every second of this. Taehyung peck on her cheek and says, tell me honestly YN, did you loved when I touch you or kissed you? Your body and mind reacted in my embarrass, but you won't accept it to agree it. I promise I'll protect you, save you. Suddenly YN mumbled, thank you. Taehyung asked, for what? YN reply, thank you for coming on right time yesterday. Taehyung says, I am your husband, no needs to thanks, it's my duty to protect you. And I am guilty for what happened yesterday with you. Flashback, Taehyung was attending a meeting on a hotel. After attending his meeting, Taehyung was going from hotel to another meeting, when on the way he met a lady who was holding a child in her lap, and a 5-year-old little girl was holding her hand and saying continuously something to her mom. Little girl says to her mom, I can't control anymore mom, please. I can't. Her mom replied, baby, just a little bit, wait after your father comes, I will take you. You know, I cannot go inside with your little sister, 3-month child. I try to understand. Seeing later, tense face, Taehyung go towards the man. Taehyung asks, what happened, do you need some help? Little girl says, handsome oppa, can you take my little sister in your lap for a while? I want to go to the restroom with my mom. Her mom says, baby, you can't disturb anyone else like this. Little girl says, mom, look at him, he is a gentleman, he will help us. Her mom says to Taehyung with polite smile, please don't mind her, you must. We have some work. Her father comes soon. Little girl says, mom, but I can't hold anymore, please. I can't hold more. Mom. Taehyung says to her little girl's mom, it's okay, you give your child to me and you take your daughter to the washroom, I will wait here. Her mom says, let's go. My handsome oppa is ready to take my little sister. Dot. The lady gives her little child to Taehyung's arm and goes towards the washroom. After nearly 10 minutes, little girl comes out from the restroom with her mom and goes towards Taehyung. As they sees her little child playing with Taehyung and clapping her both little hands in fun. Dot. The little girl says, "Thank you handsome oppa for help." Her mom says, "I hope my daughter, didn't she bother you too much? I am sorry for disturbing you, and thank you for your help." Taehyung says, "No, it's okay, no problem, I like kids." Her mom says, "You may give me my daughter now, you can go thank you again." Dot. As she tried to take back her little daughter from Taehyung's arm, but when she tried to take her into her arm, her little daughter start crying as she was playing in Taehyung's arm. Her mom seeing her little girl enjoying Taehyung's arm and doesn't want to go to her mom. Dot. Her mom says, "Seems like she likes you." But suddenly a boy comes running towards Taehyung and he had ice cream in both his hands. Due to him coming running, the ice cream from one hand of that child gets on Taehyung's clothes. That little boy gets shocked and little sacred because he thought he will scold him. Dot. Little boy said in low voice, "I am sorry uncle." A voice come from behind of little boy, "My son, you should have come carefully, you should not have run." Little boy says with little sad pout, "I am sorry dad, I was running because I didn't want mine and my sister's ice cream to melt." Dot. Taehyung says, "It's okay little boy, next time be careful okay." Little boy nodded his head with smile and nodded and he meet the man's eyes and Taehyung realizes that the man is his business partner. They both attended the meeting together a few minutes ago. Dot. Man says, "Oh Mr. Kim you here?" Her mom says, "Honey you know him." Man reply, "Of course honey I know him, he is my business partner." He says while pecking her wife chick. Her wife says, "Honey you know he is gentleman, he helped me." As her wife explain all things how Taehyung helped her when he was not there. Dot. Man says, "Mr. Kim you are such a gentleman, thank you so much for help. My wife and my daughter." Taehyung, "It's okay." Denial wife says, "You know honey our daughter not coming to me from Mr. Kim's arms, she is playing with him." Dot. Man says, "Mr. Kim I also heard that you married recently." Taehyung reply with smile, "Yes." Denial says, "Then you should also do your family planning with your wife as soon as possible just like me. Right now I have 3 children and I want more children." Dot. And I don't know when I will stop because my wife is very beautiful. His wife feels shy and says while scolding his husband, "Stop it honey, they are newly married couples, gives them time for that. Mr. Kim you will be a very good father in future. Mr. Kim you should bring your wife to the family function of the business party. And we will meet your wife." Dot. Taehyung replied with smile, "Of course I will." While they were talking, they did not notice that little baby fell asleep on Taehyung's arm. Man's wife take her daughter to her arm from Taehyung and says, "Mr. Kim I am sorry we take your so much time, you must have so many meetings, you also have to change your suit." Dot. Taehyung replied, "No problem, I really enjoyed meeting you all and as for this suit, I will go home and change my clothes, so don't worry." Man says, "Mr. Kim you are really a good man, thanks again for your precious time." Dot. Flashback end. Taehyung says to himself, "That means it's God's plan, this means meeting them at the hotel yesterday was not a coincidence. It was God's plan to prevent me from going to another meeting and to sending me home so that I could save my wife." Dot. He comes back by his flashback and hug Yn from back and again kiss her on her shoulder gently, not for seduce her just for show her care. Then he again start to rub and massage her back and waist with his bulky hands as Yn close her eyes in pleasure by Taehyung's magical touch. Dot. In her body he is using his long cylinder finger and thumbs for massage her waist, his only one hand is enough to hold her small waist into his hand. Suddenly a sound escaped from Yn mouth by his satisfied massage on her waist and back. Taehyung says, "Don't make that sounds again." Dot. Yn open her eyes and says, "Why?" Taehyung reply, "Because I am saying." He says with little ordering tone as Yn cross her arms into her lower chest angrily. by his ordering tone, and YN says, wow, can't I have right to, without your permission now, you don't know. It's woman things you can't understand this. It's come out by my mouth automatically, you can't control it. As Taehyung squeeze her waist by his hands with little heart. YN archy back and gulp hard by his hard squeeze on her waist, and because of her arch back. Her head was landed on Taehyung board's shoulder, as she tried to move her head from Taehyung's shoulder. But before she do, Taehyung grab her neck from the front by his hand and squeezes her neck throat up to down, and says into near to her ear, his lip is touching YN ear, not only touching, he almost greater than K, in her ear softly, and says with his deep, husky voice, I can control every move of your body, little kitten. Every each of your body, inside, outside, both. I can even control your breathing. Just like right now, as YN suddenly gulping hard for breath because of his captative aura, she almost forget to breathe. For a while, and she was breathing heavily, fully dependently on air, as her chest getting up and down by her heavy breath. Taehyung says, breath baby breath, he says, and move his right hand toward her. Gorgeous B euro, and T increment square root copyright H at $euro N and square root at, and another hand toward her stunning co euro pi bone for massage. But YN feels something twitching. N greater than S. B pound H euro pi at BD increment greater than M euro N when Taehyung T increment square root CHH euro pi B euro. And cycle around her beautiful, dazzling N at square root euro. Let's know what was that $euro N and a T increment N. YN hold Taehyung hands and says, TAE. As Taehyung stop and look at her with that YD T increment square root CH her belly $euro N and square root at. And Taehyung says, what happens, do you want me to stop? She gets wordless because she is unable to tell him what she just felt right now by his T increment square root CH. She herself did not know why she was feeling like this suddenly, this is the first time. She feels that as she confusedly thinking about that and decides to feel that $euro N and a T increment N again, so she will find out what was that feeling. And YN reply, no. Taehyung ask, then why you hold my hand? YN says, sorry, you can continue. After that, Taehyung again start to massage her C increment euro pi bone and B euro, and that time, she doesn't feel that $euro N and a T increment N because Taehyung doesn't touch her B euro with $euro N and square root it again. Because he doesn't want that, YN will stop him again, and after a while YN body again feel relaxed. By Taehyung massage as well warm water of bathtub with Taehyung H increment TB increment D dollar attached to H euro pi bath. And she lays down her head on Taehyung's shoulder and close her eyes. Taehyung in mind, why her body feels so soft, so pure and untouched like a newborn baby skin. I can't stop my hands from touching her soft glowing body and her slim belly, I can't wait for that day when YN carries my child in her beautiful tummy. I can't even imagine that when YN becomes the mother of my children, when she becomes pregnant. How will her stomach look, how beautiful she will look when she'll pregnant, she must be. Look like a beauty of goddess, and I will worship her delicious B increment D square root whenever she needs me. Whenever she wants me. I want to see her crawling for me as I crawling for her, I always there for $at T. And greater than F. Euro D her needs and desire. He was all lost in his thought that he even doesn't realize that his devilish right hand is automatically moving towards YN left B at B. To hold it, and Q square root greater than euro Z euro it, and another devil hand is moving towards square root ND euro pi the. YNP at caret T for cup H euro pi. TT euro B square root TT euro pi F, and when he slid his 3F. N greater than G euro pi dollar square root ND euro pi H euro pi P at greater than caret T. And T increment square root CHH euro pi B square root TT euro pi F. YN body shiver down on her spine by Taehyung T increment square root CH on H euro pi P pi. Square root greater than a T euro pi T as YN opens her closed eyes in stun, and YN shout, TAE. For stop his hand to go more D33p euro pi. NT increment her P He didn't affect by her voice like a deaf. YN was sitting between Taehyung euro greater than G and. So she $q square root 33z euro dh at pi d. On Taehyung votes T greater than GH by her hands for make him come to his sense, as Taehyung G pi increment at greater than N. In by her $q square root 33z euro on his muscular T greater than GH. And come to his sense and realize that where his hands on YNB increment D, he immediately push YN to another side of bathtub AF course not harshly. YN was surprised and confused by Taehyung's sudden push. And look at him with her big doe eyes. Taehyung says, don't look at me with your those eyes. YN says confusedly, what eyes? Taehyung says, rise your leg. YN says in shock, what? Why? He didn't give any explanation and hold her right leg and put on his shoulder and start to massaging. And rubbing and starts bathing her quickly, and same he do it in another leg of YN. Because he doesn't want to take any risk as he understand why YN is stopping him. For not to bath her. After he done Taehyung sees in beautiful feet toe and he can't control himself to K. And her right leg feet toe. As YN eyes eagerly widden because she again feeling something TW. In and KN increment T. In H euro pi dollar T increment M at cent H by his K. And on her toe. As she pulls her legs from Taehyung's shoulder immediately and confusedly. Looking at him, and want to ask him what he just did and why she feeling like this, but before she asks anything, Taehyung gets up and walks out of the bathtub cause the way she looking at him with her puppy eyes. It's enough making him to go insane and do something sinner with her innocent soul. He take a cold shower for cool him down after he done he change the water. Temperature in warm mode. He wears a bathrobe and went towards the door without looking at her as YN confusedly looking at his sudden weird behavior. Taehyung says while opening the door. And looking at her, get out of the bathtub and take a bath quickly, otherwise you will feel cold. If you stay in the bathtub for too long. He says and close the door. Time skip in night. After dinner YN starts washing utensils after eating. Taehyung also want to help her. But YN didn't let him do anything and told him to give his hands to rest. As Taehyung smile and go towards the hallway while mumbling and happily, my wife care for me I'll love it. And happily finding some good movie on TV according to YN likes so they will spend some time together. After a while YN also come towards the hall. Taehyung sees her and says happily with smile, come with I let's watch a movie. YN replays last night's memory and says with seething eyes, no. I know, you'll wake me up again. In the middle of the movie and force me to sleep which I don't like to leave the movie in the middle without watching complete. Taehyung says, no I will not do. YN says, no I don't believe in you, I know you very well you wilt let me watch full movie. It's better to go room and sleep. Taehyung says, I swear YN I will not stop your movie in middle please come. Let's watch. I find some good movie for you according to your likes. He says with all hope that YN will come and watch movie together with him. But YN break his little hope by her stubbornness and says while climbing the stairs towards her room, no. Taehyung in mind, why you always getting my nerves YN you really need a good punishment for your stubbornness wait and watch now. Taehyung says while challenging her, I said no I won't pick you up in the middle of a movie. If you don't believe it let's play a game. YN stop in her place and stares. And look at him and says, what's games? Taehyung seeing YN stop in her place. He smirk and says, I dare you to watch movie with me. Without leaving in middle if you leave in the middle of movie then you will have to do what I say. To you and same rule also allows on me, if I leave in the middle of movie or stop you. Then you can also order me whatever you want me to do. YN thought that he was daring and challenging her to watch some of like ghost horror movie. Just like last night, YN says in mind, how dare he even think that I am afraid of ghosts, I have to show him that I am not afraid of anything. next to him on sofa, but Taehyung places his at P where YN was sitting. And says teasingly, "Oh baby, I didn't know that you liked sitting on my at P so much. That you would leave the empty sofa and come and sit on my at page." YN look at him angry eye and says, "You leave me." He grip his hold on YN waist more. He says while arching his head back, "Ah, let's watch movie baby and stop moving your greater than page and ready for your upcoming punishment," he says in mind. And change the movie which he selected for YN and start another movie, is YN also ignoring her position and focusing on movie and she found that the movie seemed like a Hollywood movie. They are talking in English language which was going over his head. YN says, "Tae, can't you change the movie language? Can you do this movie in Korean language? I am not enjoying watching this movie." Taehyung says with smirk, "There is no need of any language in this movie to understand. You will learn a lot by watching this movie, just keep watching." In the movie, a man and a woman come inside the house from outside and are sitting on the sofa and talking each other with flirty way with giving smile each other. After 15 minutes YN says yawning by boringness in movie, "Tae, can't you change this movie and put another good movie? It is very boring. If you are not watching another one then I am going to sleep." Saying this, YN gets up from Taehyung's at greater than P and tries to leave. Closing parenthesis. Taehyung says while reminding her, "Don't forget that. We both have challenged each other. If you get up in the middle of the movie, you will have to obey my every word. This is the punishment," he says while inhaling deeply in her neck scent. YN says while rolling her eye on him, "What punishment will you give me?" He chuckled and says, "No needs to roll your eyes on me baby, it will roll it itself. When you square root greater than cent my m at greater than $n square root p greater than cent on your m increment square root ph is a punishment," he says in mind. YN says with dare, "You have challenged me, I will not give up so easily. I will also punish you. Let's watch who will give up first," she says, and again looking towards TV. Taehyung says, "So my dear if I also wanna punish me huh? So okay, tell me what is your punishment? If I get up and leave the movie in the middle without watching it completely." YN pause for a while and think what could she give him a punishment. Then YN says, "I will punish you to stay at home for 1 more week without any office work." Taehyung reply, "It's not punishment baby, it's a pleasure for me to stay with you." YN cut him in the middle and says, "We will have to live without talking to each other, without seeing each other and will not sleep in the same bed together." Listening YN punishment, his eyes darken a little because she always tried to push him from her and stay away from him which he don't like it and not after marry with her. Taehyung says, "My little kitten trying to play hard huh, would you like to know my punishment baby girl?" YN reply, "You won't need it, I won't even move it from here without watching the movie completely." Taehyung says, "Don't you think you are over confident?" YN reply, "Only time will tell. Mr. Kim Taehyung." Taehyung chuckled by her addressing his full name and says, "Oh yeah, let's see. Mrs. Kim Taehyung." After that long fight they again start watching the movie. YN was still sitting on Taehyung at greater than PN. Taehyung hugging her from back and playing, touching, fiddling with her free hair. In the movie that man and woman going towards kitchen with chit-chat each other. Taehyung sees YN bored face because this movie doesn't have any story. Taehyung says while resting his chin on YN's shoulder, "Baby are you bored? Just give up baby, and accept your defeat." YN says, "No you give up first." Taehyung laugh quietly with smirk and hug her more tightly and says, "Okay baby let's see." Suddenly both of them hear the sound of some kitchen utensils falling from inside the movie. Due to which both of them turn their attention towards the TV and YN's eyes wide open. As soon as she sees the scene on TV, the movie that man and woman K and G each other m at greater than in dollar. Square root euro y without carring utensils around them which are feeling by their actions. Why an innocent mind thought that they were going to the kitchen for eat food, but instead of eating food they are euro at tea. Caret g euro at cent each other h square root n 8 pi. Seeing yn shocked face, Taehyung says with husky deep voice, while rubbing his face on yn neck, baby I am also hungry, I also wanna eat. Y increment square root. Hype exclamation mark. Cent y increment square root. Yn cut him and scolded him. Shut up, you already eaten, don't disturb me. As Taehyung smirked, getting bitter because he already knows that what is going